Welcome to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And in this case, we're talking about the Tennessee Titans and their foundation, Powering the Good. We're honored to be joined by Johari Matthews, Director of Programs with the Tennessee Titans Foundation. How are you doing?
I am great. How are you?
Doing well. So for many, this is a dream job, and for you being a Nashville native, dream job as well. So before we talk about all the good that the Tennessee Titans Foundation does, let's start with a little bit of your backstory, because you've been working with nonprofits for a long time, serving on boards, giving back, making a difference, top 40 under 40, so much. But give us a little bit of your backstory tied to what makes you love working with the Tennessee Titans Foundation.
Yeah. So you went through the whole list. It's always hard when you hear it from someone else, but but yes, I'm a native Nashvilleian, and I grew up in the Woodbine, South Nashville area, which is a very diverse side of town. And so I would probably say since as young as I can remember, I have always been immersed in community and in culture. And so my trajectory, my path has really kind of leaned itself into that. And so that's everything from, working with youth, working with different neighborhood and community groups, which I have been fortunate enough to really be able to make a career out of that. I started with the YMCA when I was in my formative college years. And that really introduced me to what community programming, what community operations and management really looks like when that comes from how you are showing up for a community in a way that serves them in a better capacity. And from there, when I was at the YMCA, I served as the executive director of the Northwest YMCA in North Nashville and Bordeaux. And that's kind of where my ties to the Tennessee Titans, where I was really introduced to the community side of Tennessee Titans. And I fell in love with what the work that they were doing and how I personally could see the impact that they were having on the community. And, our stars aligned, and there was a position our CEO, Burke Nihill, really wanted to change the face of the foundation and really create a bigger connection to the community and go deeper with the community through the foundation, and wanted someone who wakes up every morning thinking about community and nonprofit. And so I was like, I'm your girl, please. And so that's kind of how it all happened. I mean, it's been truly, truly a magical experience to be able to merge my personal and professional worlds. As being a native Nashvilleian, I've grown up with the Tennessee Titans, as I like to say, back when we were the Oilers. And so it's nice to be able to merge those two worlds with two things that I truly love: sports and community. So.
Absolutely. Well, and that sets the stage for everything we're going to talk about in terms of investing in the community, building the community. And so go ahead and dive in. When you talk about the work the Tennessee Titans Foundation does, we all know the team, but go ahead and dive into what the foundation does.
Yeah, so the foundation has been around since the Titans came to Nashville. And, the thing with the Titans Foundation is that it has really been solely focused on how can we create a deeper impact? How can we go far and wide with how we show up in community? And that's everything from, supporting communities and neighborhoods through direct investments. And then it also lends itself to what we're doing around youth development. And so a lot of people, when they think about community from a NFL franchise, they oftentimes think about youth football and how can we pour into youth from a football perspective. But the Titans have been very clear of, football is great and we love it. It's why we're here. However, we are compassionate about literacy. We're compassionate about education. We're compassionate about really creating an ecosystem that lends itself to generational impact. So if there's a way that we can offer a resource or provide a service, whether it's through volunteer opportunities of like hands-on, we are getting our hands dirty and doing things, or if it lends itself to, hey, we have the monetary financial resources where we can write a check and help your program or help your nonprofit go to the next level. That's where the foundation comes in. And that's where we have really seen an opportunity for us to really focus on what that looks like from a NFL club franchise. The other piece of that is also connecting our players, our coaches, our staff, just in general, to community and nonprofits in a way where it allows them to think beyond football and to think beyond, the everyday Titans mark. So, we have a huge presence in schools, a huge presence in the military, with helping military families, and then also just a huge presence with figuring out how we can continue to have our mark, because we know we have Nashville's biggest stage. So how can we utilize our stage to promote and amplify the good things that are happening in the city?
Absolutely. And I think it's important, just like you said, to build the relationships, not just with the players, but with the team, the whole team, staff, and everyone that plays a role. And so you're putting a face, but you're also getting to know them personally, which builds those relationships in the community that are so important. Talk about, the balancing act, because obviously, especially through the season and then, throughout the year, there's a lot going on. And so you kind of mentioned the connection in terms of the players and the staff. So Titans Tuesday is being a piece of that. You mentioned the literacy and the spelling bee and the flag football for boys and girls and the football programs for boys and girls. So there's a lot that you all do. Talk about kind of the balancing act of managing all those different threads and finding success.
Yeah, well, I can't take the sole credit. We have an amazing group of individuals who are just as passionate about really not only just creating opportunities for the brand to have a presence, but also thinking about just from a human to human, compassionate perspective of what we can do to have a presence. We have some really incredible individuals, but it also, I share this with people all the time, it also comes from the top. Between our owner, Amy, and our CEO, Burke Nihill, and then on to Coach Vrabel and our new GM, Rand, they have really set the standard and make my job a lot easier, because I don't have to stand on a soapbox and talk about how important community is. When Burke became our CEO a few years ago, he took it upon himself to change our mission. Our mission prior to that was very wordy, very lengthy. It was, how all missions are, very flowery. And he was like, no, we're going to narrow this down to 3 words, the things that are the most important to us. And that is to win, to serve, and to entertain. And he's like, the biggest emphasis is on the serve piece. He's like, we can win games, we can win, in our respective departments and our respective fields. He's like, but the service piece, we want to make sure that is something that we immerse ourselves in that. And we've figured out how to do that in a way that's not necessarily like checking a box, but more so of this is genuinely who we are, and this is genuinely how we show up. So I think that is something from my seat that, that allows us to create this balance where if we're doing everything with those guiding principles, then we're good to go.
Yeah,
we're on the right track.
That serving underpins everything. When you talk about servant leadership, when you serve the community, serve your team, serve the players, that creates a winning culture. And so I think when you look at it from that perspective, serving underpins, it's the foundation for success, to entertain, to win, to everything. Right. So I think that is an important element for how you build a strong culture that ultimately succeeds. Talk about, on your end, we'll kind of take this in two pieces. One is we'll look back on 2022. So share some of your favorite moments from 2022, and then
Yeah.
we'll look ahead for, 2023. So give us some of your favorite moments from 2022.
Yeah, so let's see. Some of my favorite moments, of course, the hot topic, buzzing topic, of course, is the new stadium project. And so that was an incredibly special moment for us. Even though we haven't gotten the final approval, it's been really nice to see and to engage with stakeholders, with community, and really kind of bring this vision to life in a sense. So that has been a meaningful moment. I would say, in addition to that, so we have something around here that we call All Staff Serve, and it's a newer initiative that we have began to implement. And it is really gathering and convening all of the staff from across all departments to come together to volunteer for a different nonprofit. So last year, we worked with 9 different nonprofits to create these volunteer opportunities. And we did everything from cleaning up campsites to stuffing food boxes to putting together strollers and baby car seats to donate. And so it was really special to see all of the staff come together to take time. This is not something that we don't get it's not a PTO day, or it's not necessarily a day where there's an incentive as a staff person, but it was nice to see the staff come together and say, yeah, we want to show up for our community. The third thing that I'll mention from last year that stuck out the most would be the girls flag football program, which was something that we launched in 21, but it has been very eye-opening to see how many women and girls are just as talented, one, but also just as in love with the game of football and with sports. And, there's a huge magnifying glass on women in sports and what that looks like. And so for me, I'm very passionate about women and girls and programs that support women and girls. And so Girls Flag was incredibly special. And then lastly, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention One Community, which is our community benefits platform in association with the new stadium. And so that is something that, taking into 2023, that I am super excited about, because we have partnered with 16 different community nonprofits and partners to create these programs that directly serve individuals across Middle Tennessee. And so it's everything from a housing fund to small businesses support to our Girls Flag is a part of that, to really just thinking about how we can create and contribute to this ecosystem, again, for generational impact and change.
Yeah, I mean, that leads us already into what you're excited for 2023 about.
Yeah.
So give me one more thing that you're excited when you look at 2023. What are some other things that make you excited?
Yeah, so I would say, of course, One Community. This is the year that we are launching One Community and really getting it off the ground and really going full force into how we're going to connect with community and offer these programs that really just enhance change. And then, I think we have some really good things on the horizon. I am looking forward to learning more of if we will get this new stadium or not. But also we just hired a new general manager, a new GM, Rand Carthorne, which we're all ecstatic about having someone like Rand on the team. It's been amazing to connect with him. He is not only very, of course, passionate about football operations and building a winning team, but one of his priorities also is community impact. And so it's going to be really neat to see that collaboration of how we can bring the team, what we do in the front office, what we do as from a community impact standpoint, and how we can get that out. So I'm excited about that.
How can the community help your efforts?
So I would say one, continue to be a fan, support, but also lean on us. Let us know what's happening in the community and in your neighborhood and from a nonprofit perspective. And then we can definitely, so we can know and have an idea, but then we can also do our part to support.
So where can we go to learn more about the Tennessee Titans Foundation and all that you do to power the good?
Yes. Yes, go to our website. If you go to the Tennessee Titans website, you will find all sort of invitations for community impact, and then you can reach out to us there.
It makes it easy on your end. You've got the Tennessee Titans community on Twitter. And if you just Google Tennessee Titans Foundation, you find you everywhere. That's for sure.
Yes.
So lots of easy ways to stay in the loop, to get plugged in, and to make sure that you're out there participating and enjoying all the good you do. Well, Johari Matthews, thank you for all you do with the Tennessee Titans Foundation, you and your amazing team. Thank you for coming on the show.
All righty. Thank you so much, Jeremy.